With this round, this is round 10, I think, complete. Let me just check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, round 10 complete. That's the holly completely surrounded by the white, which I think is keeping it nice and fresh looking. And it's time to do a round 11 is going back to this round of double crochet stitches that we did in the pale pink. This time it's going to be running along the top of the white. The last time it was the pale silver. So this is just to jog your memory. It's very, very simple, but I've attached my yarn in the first stitch after the corner, and I'm not going to put any stitches in there. I'm just going straight into the next stitch along the top of the next stitch and making a double crochet stitch. Single crochet if it's US terms, and then a double crochet in every stitch, in the top of every stitch. The important thing is that the blanket is still on the front, so I haven't turned it from the last pink round. In fact, it's been on the front ever since then. We'll do this round in the pink, and then the next round we'll turn it, but all you need to do is work along your edge, making sure that you pick up 2 loops of the top of the white stitch and a double crochet in each one all the way along. I try to keep my double crochet stitches slightly on the loose side so that you get the richness of this. Since part of it is going to be hidden, you don't want it tight and small. You want it to be as rich as possible so that it shows through. So I'm keeping this relatively on the loose side. And then when you get to the end of the side, it's simply 3 double crochet stitches in the corners. Then when you come back to the point where you started, this corner is still empty. So you've got 3 double crochets to put in there, and then you can put a double crochet onto that first stitch where you just attached your yarn, and then slip stitch into the next one to finish off. So I will do this round completely, of course, and then I'll be back with round 12. Once you've got finished with round 11, it's time to turn the blanket for round 12. And at this point you can actually see that there are little bits of the coloured yarn showing through that's been carried, more so on the back than on the front, but that's okay because this is the back. So for round 12, we're on the wrong side of the blanket, and all we're going to do is repeat of this round where we worked over the top of the double crochet round into the spaces created by the clusters in the round before. So we're going to just attach the yarn in a corner, and this is the corner of round 10. This is the, did I say this is the pale silver yarn? Because we're kind of mimicking what's happening before the rounds of holly. So attach the yarn, chain 2 and 2 trebles in the corner. Like that. And then find the next white space and 3 trebles in there. Three trebles in the next space, and then I'll stop and let you see it. 2, 3. So bearing in mind this is the reverse side of the blanket, but that's what the clusters, the treble clusters look like. This will be what they look like on the front, and they are the same as the treble clusters in the pale silver down before, in the rounds before. So I'm going to work that round, and we're almost finished with this border. I'll be back to tell you what happens next. Time's moved on now, and as you can see, I've actually finished section 3. The blue arrow shows the pale silver round that we've just been working on, and then the round above turned to the front once more for a round of treble clusters in white, and then turned back to the reverse for a round of treble clusters in pale silver. So all in all, in section 3 there are 14 different rounds, and the cluster count in the final round of pale silver is 45. And that completes section 3. Time now to move on to section 4.